So I missed you at CES.
Yes.
But I heard you had some exciting stuff going on there.
That's true.
So, and I think you made an announcement at CES, and you've got one up and coming. So talk me through those.
We have a lot of cool stuff cooking. So first of all, I'll take a quick step back and say that 2014 was absolutely tremendous for us, capturing a lot of market share on the platform, so powering agencies and media buying organization as an ad server for video and managing all their video. Our next level after capturing that market share is bringing more technology that makes the creative more relevant for the user. So leverage a lot of data that brands and agencies have and bring it to the creative. What we showcase at CES is a partnership we rolled out with Excelate on collecting a lot of data that right now was very much kind of the term is same person, same device. So I'm using my tablet to browse the web. I can use that data predominantly on the context of that tablet. The problem happens when you go OTT on connected TVs. You don't really do any type of browsing on a Roku box, on a smart TV or another. So you don't have a lot of data aside from the location. What we're doing is that because a lot of advertisers are interested in a household and a lot of activities, I have a newborn, I have a pet, I'm in the market for a new car, that's a household activity. We're aggregating a lot of data that happens inside the house. So if I'm using the tablet, I now can use the same data that I have on my past browsing experience on the tablet, use that for targeting on the connected TV or...
Are you equating a household to an IP address?
Exactly.
Okay.
And we use that and work with brands that have multiple, let's call it sub-brands, P&G, Kimberly-Clark, car manufacturers and others, to say you don't need to think, you don't need to pair, very much pair the discussion we had before, try to split your media buying and the creative. So buy your media to get the best audience you can in the right price, in the right context, and whatever, and then in real time makes the decision what is the right message I want to deliver to that audience. So this is a guy that is in market for a Jeep or in market for a small car or a value shopper or things like that.
I mean, so coming from the buy side and previously, before being on the buy side, selling to media buying agencies, talking about pooled budgets for global brands, like that is Chinese water torture. I mean, that's like, tell me about that conversation. tell me about that. You know, first of all, who do you talk to at an agency, right? Because they've decoupled their brands by different agencies, typically even across holding companies. Yeah. Like, where do you start that conversation to help them realize the potential of pooling the resources and then targeting based on that?
It's not an easy uphill battle.
But to go back to our morning conversation, is it push or pull? Like, are you being asked or are you driving the agenda, the conversation?
I think it varies by client. In many cases, we work with the agency and the brands together. In many cases, also because we're fully global, we work with the brand that has multiple agencies and we work with all of them together on bringing a global aspect. And then we're exposed more to a conversation that is, let's say, a little higher in the decision-making funnel. But to answer your question, it is a little bit more of a push right now. So we come up with, the technology guys come up with an idea, oh, we can do this freaking awesome thing, sorry, and we can bring it to market. It will bring you a lot of value. It really pairs with a lot of stuff that you're already doing on programmatic buying, on collecting the data, audience segmenting, things like that. And now we need to pair it with the last mile of add the right creative to it.
So does creative optimization, is it valuable if the optimization itself doesn't occur at the time of the ad call? Is there upper funnel creative optimization that's meaningful anymore, or is it really only at the time of the ad call that it matters?
Give me an example.
Well, I mean, like, you know, typically a global brand creates, you know, a Fortune 100 brand creates 1, max 2 pieces of television creative a year, right? And that's typically seasonal.
Yep.
And that's their upper funnel brand stuff. And they typically repurpose that for their 30s or 15s online,
yep,
right? So if you take automotive, you know, they're maybe tagging it at the end of the creative, but, you know, at the time of the ad call, that's the only time you're bringing in first-party data,
yep,
right, et cetera. So I'm just, I mean, this is something I've been thinking about in my business is like, you know, bit up funnel or at the time of the ad call, where's the greatest maximum return on investment? And if it's really only at the ad call, why bother any more upstream?
I think it's a million-dollar question, very much related to the discussion you had with Shannon before on lumping in the creative people, because the production of the content is not that expensive as it used to be, and it's a lot of training. So right now, most of our work it is on the ad call, because this is the, let's call it the building blocks that we can play with. We are not the people that produce the content. However, we do work with a lot of brands that value a lot of other content that they have that is not the 30-second holy grail $2 million production that they did, and leveraging a lot of user-generated content and or Instagram or other stuff, and use that as their paid media. We work, a lot of agencies has initiatives on real-time marketing, content at scale, moments marketing. There's different names for those products of leveraging content, like again, content marketing, leveraging content on your paid media, and don't look at 30-second spot just as a place to put an ad in it. This is a 30 seconds on a soapbox to convey a cool message to a consumer. So maybe you should, if you're I don't know, a telco, you can take what is the top 3 things came out of CES in technology. It would be interesting and brought to you by Sprint. Or someone like this, and this is an area where you can bring together a lot of stuff that are still at the ad call level, and I'll tie it back to your question, but we have more to play with than just 1 or 2 or 3 content that was produced.
Okay, so my last question is, at the end of 2016, which in our industry feels like a forever wave, so that's, what, 22 months, right, 23 months. Then in 2016,
it's going to be all drones by then.
Okay.
I had to say that. It's just true.
So in that regard, what percentage of programmatically bought, just through a trading desk or an automated way where there is data and there's decisioning, what percentage of programmatically bought video ads will also be coupled with creative optimization and creative variance at the time the ads bought?
I hope you won't think that I'm smartest, but I would say that I completely don't care. Just because
I do. That's why I asked the question.
No, so I will say, but yeah, but I'm
no, but I'm curious
answering.
but this is your perspective of the market.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think it's completely. I'll try to answer, but first I'll say why I don't care. I would say that this is. It doesn't really matter what is the way that you transact on and get your media. You can write on an IO, an upfront, an RTB, programmatic, in Excel, in an email. I don't care. And it's not really, I think it's mutually exclusive. It doesn't have to be that only if you buy programmatic you can apply all the data for
But we just know that,
side.
but the reason I use the word is because we defined it earlier level said that it's the use of data, right? So we know that every programmatic transaction, we have a greater sense of who the audience or the recipient is.
I would say
so there's
every
an
impression
opportunity.
should use data.
But, okay, so the point is the investment around creative optimization. What percentage of buys of video that use data to target better are going to invest in creative incrementally to make it perform better and lift ROI more?
50%.
Okay. So I know you've been doing some stuff with Atlas and Facebook as well. Tell me about that partnership there.
Yeah, we're super thrilled to be working with Facebook as an awesome organization. So Facebook is working a lot on rebuilding a pretty badass ad technology. Partner with Innovid at the beginning of the year, beginning of 2014, on powering the video ad serving, and a lot of the expertise that we bring into the market, paired with a lot of stuff that Facebook and Atlas brings on user data, on analytics, on what they call people-based measurement. So the idea is that instead of measuring things on a cookie base and reach and frequency by cookies that are paired with a browser, look at it on a person level. That is clearly the value proposition of Facebook as a whole. So what we did all through 2014 is connected our systems in a way that you can very seamlessly work with Atlas, build your media plan. We worked a lot on the operational efficiency side this year to make sure that you can deliver video, the smartest video that you can, using Atlas, leveraging data, without really paying the price of working with 2 systems. That Atlas is a display, general, ad server, analytics, and Innovid is video. How you make this a stronger partner together.
Awesome.